Everybody wants to continue to work until they hit the magic number, whether that's 1 million for you or 2 million for you, or maybe it's age 67 because you can get full retirement benefits then from Social Security, or it's age 65. That's always a big one because people want to reach Medicare age because healthcare is always tricky to figure out before 65 when you retire. So what if I just told you, forget about all of that. Retire right this second. Let's talk through 5 different reasons why that may be the possibility that you can consider. All right, so the number one thing is the odds are against you. I don't mean to be morbid with this, but let's just take a look at the Social Security retirement mortality tables here. And so what we're breaking down here is the probability of dying within 1 year, and then the number of survivors out of 100,000 born that are still alive. And so if we're looking at this, I mean, you can see at 111 years old, well, the fact is there's 1 out of 100,000 potentially still alive in this scenario. But let's go back a little bit and let's look at age 60, just to give you an idea here. So when you're looking at your percentages here, you've got a 1.4% chance of passing away, but 81,272 people would still be remaining alive out of 100,000. As you continue to age, obviously, it's going to get higher, 2.7% chance of passing away at age 70, 66,732. And then we go down here to 80. Well, now over 50% of the people out of 100,000 have passed away. You've got a 6.46% chance of passing away that year. And so looking at this, I don't mean to be morbid and just say, hey, well, guess what? You're just a number. But the facts are the facts, and we all know that at some point on this earth, we are going to pass away. So what we've got to look at is really just saying, hey, let's start to think through what we can do the rest of the life that we have here instead of just saying, I'm just going to continue to work just to reach a certain number or a certain age because of things. So that's just one thing to think through. The second thing is health. I have met so many people and talked with so many people who are beyond stressed with work. And oftentimes it seems as though the more you age, the more you're in a company that you've been there a long time, you know all of these different things that you need to know. They're bringing on new people who may not have the same work ethic as you have had. And so what does that do? That just creates even more stress. And so a lot of times the plate continues to pile. If that's you and you're looking at your life and saying, man, I've got just so much blood pressure and things going on right now, I'm just losing my mind. Well, then maybe it's time to consider just stepping aside and getting out of the workplace or going and doing something a little less stressful. So that's just one reason for it. I've looked up different things, and really, to be honest with you, there's not a lot of studies when it comes to retiring and a better health there because oftentimes you're getting older, and so they're always looking at, well, age and health is a big factor. But really what I'm looking at is just relieving that stress and possibly just taking the time for you, get in the gym, exercise a little bit, join yoga, stretch, do something that could just help you to really alleviate a lot of that stress and get yourself into a better healthy condition for the rest of your life, because we do know as you continue to age, you are going to start to lose mobility. You are going to have health issues. So if you can just focus on yourself now instead of continuing to work and pushing yourself past the point of, a minimum stress to a maximum stress on where you're at right this second. The third one is Social Security. Social Security itself, because the fact is you may have been lied to on this. Everybody says, well, you've got 35 working years of Social Security, and that is absolutely accurate, and that's what they're counting on here. But when it comes to the Social Security, they're looking at those 35 working years. It's like, well, I got to work 1 more year because I'm making a lot more money now than I did before, and it's going to pay me a lot more in Social Security. Well, let me show you this chart, because I actually went to the Social Security website. I plugged it all in and I said, okay, you've got 35 working years, but the last year you don't work. So you only have 34 working years. Well, guess what? That in itself gives you this number here. But if we break it down and we say, okay, you know what? We're going to actually say, all right, you're going to work that 1 more year. $100,000 is what you're going to make that year, and it's going to give you $43 more a month. Now, sure, Social Security is going to adjust and increase with inflation, but $43 a month is what you get. I don't know how much that's going to do. Maybe it's going to help you and your spouse go out and maybe buy a dinner. It's probably a pretty cheap dinner nowadays, including tip, because of the way things are out there. It's not cheap. So don't focus on just having to work 1 more year to get a little bit more Social Security, because oftentimes it's not going to make as much of an impact as you thought it would. Number 4, this is one that I see so many clients actually really focusing on now that they have retired or even semi-retired, and that is purpose. Some people are actually stepping away from their really stressful job and just going to another job that's a little bit less or a little more stress-free when it comes to things. And they're trying to find something that they want and they have a purpose with. Maybe it's just working for a company, a charity that, maybe that's a volunteer position, or maybe it's something that's actually paid, but is what you really care about and what you feel that you should be doing in life. So many people that we talk to are working through their years and they're just saying, you know what, I'm doing this job because they know they have to pay the bills. They know they have kids at home. And they're trying to send kids to college, all of these different things, but it's not what they love and what they want to do. Well, guess what? At some point, you can flip that switch a little bit and go out there and find that purpose. And oftentimes we've found for our clients, that's also helpful when it comes to stress, because now you're feeling fulfilled in life and you're not stressed out at this workplace that you're not really enjoying what you're doing. And number 5, the fact is one we all love to talk about. We use Nest Egg here. You can see it here on the screen. Nest Egg shows right here for this person 100% probability of success. It's time to go. So if you have done a financial plan, you have figured things out, and you've said, hey, you know what? All the money is here, then why continue to work? Maybe you're just telling yourself, well, I want to, get a little bit longer for, again, this number or 65. If the plan is in place, it's time to go ahead and leave. So think through those things. I'm sure there are a significant amount of other reasons why you could say, hey, I want to retire today. Let me know in the comments below. Maybe it'll help somebody else out there. And again, if you always think of something that you may want me to make a video on, let me know and I'd be happy to look at it.